Yeah, my big thing that I want to continue to focus on in Clark County is development and jobs. I mean, we've done a lot. We've improved a lot in terms of Metro, in terms of our ratios that we have with Metro. We're going to have to add some people at the jail because we've had a little bit of a fallback there. People have retired and we haven't replaced them. But we've got an adequate Metro force that just needs to be sustained at 2.0. So we'll have to probably do a little addition there. But the biggest thing I want to continue is development. We've got probably $15 to $18 billion worth of projects on the map for the next 5 to 7 years when you're talking about the stadium and the convention center, Resorts World, the Fontainebleau site. You know, all those are coming online, and it's going to make a big difference keeping those people working. And we've got to line up things after that. So Las Vegas is a flourishing place right now. We need to do more. Need to work on a little bit more housing because we're running into housing shortage for some of especially the entry-level buyers, the kids that are coming out of college. They're buying a house for the first time. So we've got work ahead of us, but things are looking good now. Well, we have to continue as it relates to the renewable energy front. I mean, there's no better state in the country than Nevada for solar. I mean, so we have sun. I don't know how many, 350 days a year, I'll bet, that we have sunshine, that you can produce energy from that. So I think we're seeing a development of that. I think it's going to continue to flourish as we move forward. You'll see more and more industries coming into that, but we've got to sell that power as well. So we've got to get more. I know some of the casinos have moved into this resort industry, switches on it. Others are moving into buying the solar energy, which will maintain help improve the environment, reduce the carbon footprint, and better for the entire community. The whole world benefits as a result of these type projects.
My goals still remain building community, making sure neighborhoods are safe, working with Metro on our Shot Spotter program, Pathways from Poverty with the kids. We're focusing on the area over by Cambridge and a little bit of Karen. The kids that go to Peterson Elementary as well as Orr. We're doing some community gardens over in the neighborhood, just trying to do things that actually clean things up and give kids healthy alternatives after school. You know, we got hit really hard with that recession, so we're just starting to uptick, and the county itself has a larger budget than the state, and last year we only had $4.3 million total for all 7 of us to allocate to anything. We tried to add more code officers, so we're trying to make some incremental changes. I would say the bigger change is that the commission supported my plan to do a bonding in order to build more parks and recreation, because that's something definitely that our constituents want.
How are we going to do that, Commissioner?
We're going to do that through bonding, and we have the capacity there, so there should be no tax increase per se, but it lets us start to move forward in actual construction. So many of our parks have never been finished, such as Hollywood, Desert Breeze, so we need to complete our older parks and then make sure that some of the new ones that need to be really refurbished get that. It's like Lewis Family Park needs to be completely rebuilt, for example.
2018, I think, will be very fruitful, continuing on making sure our roadways are where they need to be and how safe they are, making sure that any growth is done with sensible growth, that we don't just put in masses of construction for the sake of masses of construction, making sure that people are heard, and that's always been very important to me. So I will continue 2018 as I have in the past to make sure the constituents are heard, that safety is a #1 priority throughout our county, and that we enjoy the lifestyles that we want with more parks, more open space, and those are important factors for the citizens. You know, there are some important factors because as you have the other growth, that commercial aspect and the amenities that it brings is very important. So making sure that that's done smart. I think you have to always do something that's constructive, that's diligent, that meets the needs, that you're not doing something just because, and I do think that's very important.
There's a real sense that we're past the recession. We're seeing it in so many different areas in the community, and looking back over the last 20 years, I think we're on the verge again of a transformation in Las Vegas. We're seeing it with the gaming industry. When you see what Caesars has done with the Link and MGM has done with the park, a whole different dynamic where gaming, true gambling, is now less than 40% of the revenue on the Strip. That entertainment and shopping and dining, 10 years ago people wouldn't have seen that. That's part of it. Professional sports. We certainly have had, for 35 years, a AAA affiliate, the Las Vegas 51. So we've had professional baseball here. But now comes the NHL and the Golden Knights. Record-setting expansion. You have the Raiders, the stadium under construction. The WNBA just announced at Mandalay. You have infrastructure. You know, we were fortunate enough last election cycle to pass question 5, which was fuel revenue. we now, over the next 10 to 15 years, have all the money we need to invest in our streets and highways, our beltways. NDOT will be working on I-15 and US 93. So money is not an object now. That investment translates not only to a higher quality of life, but certainly the creation of jobs. When you look at the $3.5 billion that we'll invest in infrastructure over the next decade, the $1.9 billion Raiders Stadium, Las Vegas Stadium, the expansion at the convention center, $1.4 billion. These are opportunities that hopefully local workers will have careers. And it's the next generation, the next chapter in the evolution of Las Vegas. And I really think timing-wise, from the county and our sister cities, the decisions we make over the next few years, including in 18, will dictate what this community looks like in 20 to 25 years. I really feel strongly that critical decisions are going to be made the next few years.
We're excited for 2018. We have a lot of things that we're working on. First and foremost, public safety is always a top priority for us, and we are working with our new pilot projects that we have out there. Many folks have heard about ShotSpotter. It's going really well. Plus our community policing, working across the entire valley with the captains across 3 different areas. So secondly, illegal dumping is a big issue in District B, and so we are working to come up with some new ideas. We have some pilot projects that we're going to be rolling out after the first of the year to see if we can't curb some of it, as well as some education components. And then lastly, the fun stuff is always being able to build new parks. We have the equestrian park, we have the Bob Price Park, we have some improvements out in our more rural areas. So we have a little bit of something for everybody that 2018 will be exciting to see those shovels get going.
I think 2018 brings us real opportunity to recover further, to do some things a little differently from how we've done them in the past. And I think overall, there's a lot of promise for all of us in Clark County with the new year. We have a project, the Ballard project on Las Vegas Boulevard, that will further, the term is harden the area. And what that really means is that it'll make pedestrian travel along the boulevard safer. The thriving, energetic pedestrian movement along the Las Vegas Strip is a key ingredient to a successful Strip experience. We're committed to only making that better and stronger. We experienced such a downturn during that economic collapse that many of the public work maintenance projects were delayed. You take, for instance, just one of many. You take Sunset Park. There are playing surfaces there, basketball and tennis and volleyball surfaces that have needed to be repaired and maintained. And in some cases, the entire facilities are out of service because we didn't have the resources to do that. The Marketplace soccer fields over at Russell and Eastern are 2 of the most heavily booked and highly demanded for service parks that we have, and those parks are soccer fields. They'll get synthetic surface replacement, which we couldn't afford to do, and those we expect will be open during calendar year 2018. Horseman's Park, an incredible asset. We're going to be spending some money over there, and we're going to do things over there that will enable other uses and make it more appealing, and we think that there will be lots of local use and lots of tourism. So there are all kinds of things that are happening that are in many cases deferred maintenance projects that have needed to be done for some time, and we're proud to be able to do something about them now. And we've begun approving funds for these projects. We've approved largely the entire set of projects that I've just described for you. And they'll be happening in 2018. Hopefully we can get off of drawing boards and get through the bidding process and actually get into construction, get things happening on the ground that people can see. At the end of the day, it's all about quality of life, whether you're a resident here or a visitor here. And our commitment, I believe, as I listen to my colleagues and as I feel my own way through a new assignment, we're committed to improving the quality of life across Clark County for both the resident and the visitor. I see that happening in 2018.
You know, I think for me, to work more closely in the system, that we can get that number of 3,300 down, getting more kids into safe, loving homes. Open hearts, open homes full of love. That's what we need for these kids. And then one of my goals really is to see a more cohesive Nevada, if you will. I'll be stepping in a role as NACO president, and so working with county commissioners statewide. You know, I just think a more collaborative effort of understanding that we're all in this thing together. And so if we can get ourselves together here on a local level here in Southern Nevada, I think it wouldn't be that difficult to see us make a dent in what's going on in all of Nevada, opposed to working the North against the South. Let's come on one accord. When we can get our constituents back to work and get them with some good paying jobs with livable wages and benefits, that's a great sign for our tax bases, because we so need that so very much. And then to be able to, you know, just really help our children get more engaged and more involved, opposed to leaving kids home by themselves and sitting them in front of a TV all day. Get them up, get them active, and get them out. So I just think that there are so many things that we can do Clark County-wise to just really make a big difference. Oh, we're going to continue to sell our story, and we're going to tell our story. We're going to continue to let folks know when you come to Las Vegas is just not a tourist destination, it's a final destination. And when you come here, that old thing, and we won a lot of awards by saying what happens here stays here. No. We don't want it to stay here. We want you to take it back with you and spread it all around the world, that when you come to Las Vegas, whether you're coming for shopping or a sporting event or the great restaurants or some of the great sites like Red Rock, Lake Mead, Mount Charleston, Springs Preserve, whatever the case might be, we're a community with a lot of things going on. Clark County got a lot of things going on.